Welcome to Smalltalk Daily for Monday, July 6, 2009. This morning I'd like to continue with Web Velocity and take a look at another feature of Web Velocity that maps over to something you're familiar with from standard Smalltalk, and that is the workspace kind of concept, the idea that you have a tool that you can open up, do some basic Smalltalk scripting, and see about exploring things. So let's open up the console here, and you get a little console window that floats inside the browser, and I can just start typing code in here. So I could do something like counter : assuming I could spell it, counter : 1. And you'll see I now get that. You see it's an instance of small integer. So if I were to type counter gets counter plus 2, you'll see that it now tells me that it's 3 because it knows the counter is already in existence as an object and it's assigned to 1. Now it's 3. I can do more complicated things too. I have an application called Media Search, and I have a class in there called Media Finder, and its purpose is to scan the file system for a specific file that will pick up things that need to be dropped into the database. So if I do a basic new on it, and I'm going to do basic new because otherwise it would start off a process, I can get an instance of that, look down at it, and I can see the process is nil. Whereas if I were to do this, .media finder new, you'll see that it's going to fire up, and if I look at it now, you'll see that it's got a process. The process is in a semaphore wait because it's gone out, looked for the file. The file didn't exist, so it has nothing to drop into the database. So it's just waiting, and it's going to be sitting there at a priority of 30 until it wakes up again and does something. So I have the ability to scroll through a workspace, and I have this kind of treed view of objects in the workspace that I can open up and expand and look pretty much as deep as I want, all the way down to as far down as objects go, which is basically the VM barrier. And I can look at them, I can modify them, I can play with them. So you have this whole workspace concept inside your Web Velocity application context, and you can view things and play with things and manipulate things as you would in a workspace. And in fact, this is also the way things work in the debugger. So when you bring up a breakpoint, you'll find that your inspectors in the debugger go there too. So if I go to this application and I find, let's go to main, and we'll go to the render content on method here. So let's just put a breakpoint in here, add a breakpoint, and now what we'll do is we'll do a browse, and we'll go to main, and you see we're here in the debugger, and up here you see that I have all of my objects, and this is the same kind of thing I saw in the console window. I get my objects here, I can expand them, I can look at HTML, find out it's a render canvas, and that meant if I wanted to, I could now go to the browser and take a look at that and see what kinds of messages it understands. Or of course, I can just fly all the way through this. So the thing is that using Web Velocity, I have all the power that I do in my standard Smalltalk environment, debugging, workspaces, scripting, the whole 9 yards. So that's about it for today. Until next time, have fun with Smalltalk.